Hey guys, welcome to the vlog in English, because basically, as I said in other videos, this channel is French and English and every video will be made in two different languages. So this is pretty cool. I'm sorry, I'm not in my living room where it's nice and clean and there's order. This is, my office, and it's just a mess before Christmas because I'm doing a little bit of everything, running everywhere, and yeah, it's getting pretty messy. But anyways, so the vlog, how this works. As a vlog, we will talk about all the stuff that is going on in the vaping world. So there will be different chapters, so timestamps in the description below. If you don't want to watch the whole video, you can choose the different chapters. So every week there will be a chapter about the laws in different countries all over the world. So please comment this video and explain to me what is going on for the vaping industry in your country, because I will talk about it. I can talk about the French legislations, about the American a little bit, but I would like to have some more comments about it, and just so that we can share all the informations. Second chapter will always be the discovery of the week. So this can be a juice, a box, an atomizer, a cool accessory, so a little bit of everything. Then there will be the video of the week, and this is where you guys come in again. So you can send me over some videos. You don't have to make them. You can find them on YouTube and find them pretty cool. It has to be a little bit vaping related, of course. But yeah, it will just be a promotion. I'm not there to criticize any videos. I don't want it to do it. I'm just there to share this, the cool videos of this community. So just feel free to share them. I will show them, not in, if it's a 1 hour long video, I won't share it, of course, but I will talk about it and set the link in the description and everything, so this might be pretty cool. Then there will be a retro vaping section, so a little disclaimer, this week in the English vlog, well, the French vlog we did it before this one, so I fried the resistance of the thing I was playing around with for the retro vaping, so I can't vape it, but I can explain it. If you want the images, I will put down a link below, just so that you can see what happened in the French vlog if you so interested. And this is the last section actually, and then there will be, oh no, I just forgot one, it will be the question of the week. So I'm answering one question a week. It will be the same question that is featured in the French vlog, of course, so feel free to leave your questions below. If you don't want other people to read your question, just send me a private message. There's no problem, and I won't say your name if you don't want it. There's no problem. For the first question this week, I didn't say the name, and this was on purpose. So feel free to ask your question. Don't be afraid. I won't make any fun of anyone who's asking questions. And yeah, that's it. Basically, this is how the vlog will work. There will be some other sections, but not on a weekly basis. I will try to get some interviews and some going around, filming in some shops, and yeah, basically a whole lot of stuff going on. So I hope you will enjoy it, and let's head on to the first section this week, which will be the law section. So let's talk a little bit about our problems as vapers with the whole government issues. I mean, I heard a lot about America with the FDA and stuff, watching a lot of Grim Green's channel and all these YouTubers who are talking about basically the things that happen outside my borders, actually, from France or from Europe. It's pretty interesting to see that we're all in a big mess, basically. Yeah, so I wanted to just share with the people outside Europe, basically, because I think England and Ireland are under the same restrictions as we will be in 2016. So I'm grabbing just a little bit of coffee, and let's have a look. So here, for us it's called the DPD, so the basically it's the directive of product made of tobacco, if I'm translating it. So first thing that will happen, 10 milliliter max. So this means you can't buy any juice bottle over 10 milliliters, which is, let's face it, the prices will go up. The whole mess that it will make in terms of the bottles you will throw away will go up, way up even. And yeah, so this is pretty much a really bad thing. It's not the worst thing, but it's really bad, because basically 10 milliliters, depending on how you vape, on what you like, it will just get really messy, and you will buy whole things to stock basically your bottles, knowing that now I'm pretty much sold to get big bottles when I like juice, like the One Hit Wonder line with 180 milliliters, the Flawless line with 120 or 60 milliliters. So these are things that I like, and I think a lot of vapors who found a juice that they really appreciate will just buy a bigger bottle, because basically it's going to be cheaper than a little bottle, this is how economics work. It's just logic. So the next one will be no tanks over 2 milliliters. So even a Goblin Mini, which I don't have right here. So let me read it. It's in French, so just let me read it and let me translate it. So it must be you can't open it basically, which is kind of weird. It has to be indestructible, it has to have no leaking, and it has to have a child security. So basically, if you found all these things on an atomizer with a tank of 2 milliliters, you can buy it or sell it if you're a reseller. Otherwise, nope. So there's really no atomizer on the market that presents these norms of security in brackets, let's say it. So we will have no more rebuildable atomizers, no more drippers or anything else. Let's see, what next? 20 milligrams max of nicotine. So yeah, this is not my hugest problem. Maybe it's a problem to some vapors who are at very high doses of nicotine. Anyway, in France, you're basically limited to 18, I think, or 20 maybe, but yeah. 18 is usually the highest you can go. I think in the US you can go over 30, if I'm right. Correct me if I'm right. If I'm wrong, basically, not if I'm right. Oh god, I'm tired. So, this is the one fact I didn't really get. It's forced to have a constant put out of nicotine, with no other clear instructions how this should work. But basically there's already nothing on the market that basically puts out nicotine constantly. It's just weird. It's not, I mean, not by pressing the button, taking a toot, and there you got your nicotine, which is basically how every e-cigarette works. No, this is seems to be different and pretty weird. Next thing is you have no right for advertising. So this also concerns YouTube. So no more YouTube videos, no more information about vaping, nothing that could promote vaping in any kind of way. And this is a pretty weird sentence, but anyway, you get it. So no more advertising at all. Yeah, this sucks, because basically all YouTubers that are showing just how vaping works, I'm not saying, I mean, nobody or no good channel will say you need to vape. Just vape, 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 vape. I mean, if you're not a smoker, don't vape. Really, don't take nicotine or anything, don't vape. But for us vapers, or for the smokers who are interested in vaping, it's so important, and it created a community. Really, it created basically a huge community that I think should be more a worldwide community than a national community. This is also because I'm making this channel in 2 languages. So maybe a 3rd language will come up. I told it already in the presentation of this channel. God, this juice is good. I'm taking a toot of the My Man with a good cup of coffee. This is just delicious. So, instauration of taxes. Of course, this is in every country, I guess. I've heard this numerous times. So, creation of a tax, and yeah, basically, we're all gonna pay much, much more. As always, great, absolutely stunning. Also, the end of everything that is sold on the internet in terms of vaping products. So, great, no more buying on the internet. So, if your local store doesn't have the thing that, let's face it, sucks, but you want to have it, because I'd say it sucks because 2 milliliter max tanks with some weird regulations, some weird e-cigarettes, and the stores that will hold up to these regulations, I guess there won't be very much, have no right to sell on the internet. So, absolutely stunning. Also, the regulation allows, if 3 different states or 3 different countries decide that a product isn't working how it should be working, or is a little bit weird, they can kill the product. No more selling of this product, just due to a decision of some bureaucrats that are in their offices. They know nothing about vaping, and let's face it, okay, let's take the Hexome, even though the Hexome wouldn't be even sold anymore with the other regulation. Okay, the logo is a little bit weird. I mean, I don't know what it is. It might be dangerous, so let's ban it. This is basically how it works. It's a very basic description, but this is how it will work. So, this is it's just shocking. And the last point, it's basically a conclusion, the end of all evolution in terms of vaping gear or of e-liquids, because there will be so much restrictions that, yeah, the market usually, due to the latest estimations, will be killed very quickly, because in the law proposal, it says that they will need 6 months of studies on any kind of gear or e-liquid that will come out before it can hit the market. So imagine a modder, okay, who creates a nice mod, despite all the regulations. Let's say the mod is up to all the regulations that are proposed in this law, and he will need to wait 6 months. 6 months where people will just be pressing a fucking button, not bottom, button, right? And check out the electronics to know if this is gonna be dangerous for the population. So, I mean, who are they fucking with? Really, I mean, why didn't they do this for the tobacco industry? Because the tobacco industry gets just so much money because there's so much taxes. Not so much, I don't know, I know that in every state of the USA, the taxes are different on tobacco products, so you can, I was in New York 7 months ago, and the prices were very high, nobody was basically smoking. Went to Los Angeles, the prices were pretty low for tobacco products. So, in France, just for a notion, a pack of cigarettes, 20 cigarettes Marlboro, will be €7.90 right now. And yeah, this comes down to about $10. So it's already pretty high, and it's going up, but there's no other regulation. So now, because the vapors here were like, yeah, you're proposing this law, and basically you're doing nothing against the tobacco industry that makes you a whole lot of money, and that is selling products that are known to be harmful, and they're killing people basically. And all you do is just put the prices up to get more money and to stop people from smoking. But there's no really, yeah, you have the stickers on your pack of cigarettes. I think there are also stickers in the US, correct me if I'm wrong, but so smoking kills and stuff, and some weird pictures, yeah. And now the government said, okay, you say we do not do anything about the tobacco industry, let's introduce a neutral packaging. So this will come in January, a neutral packaging, just the colors of the cigarette brand. So basically, if you're buying a pack of Marlboro, which is the same all over the world, you will have a pack of white and red colors, but no branding whatsoever on it, just the advertising stickers that smoking is dangerous and stuff and blah blah blah. And just they did this basically to get this law about vaping passed, because they say, hey, you see, now we're doing something about tobacco, and this is just so much of bullshit. I mean, these products, just have a look at the latest studies. I mean, yeah, vaping is new, and I get the little fear of people, yeah, it's new, we don't know what could be harmful in it. The latest studies showed 95% less dangerous than a cigarette. There are things out there that we're consuming every day that are more harmful than e-cigarettes. And e-cigarettes are made basically for smokers that want to quit tobacco. Okay, there are newcomers. Okay, there will be underaged, like 15-year-olds, that will try e-cigarettes. But also, latest study in France, because the big argument of every government out there is e-cigarettes will lead children to take afterwards tobacco products. Bullshit. Most of the people that are underaged trying out e-cigarettes, okay, of all those people, only 20%, no, sorry, 10%, right? Got me wrong, 10% will continue with the e-cigarettes. Of all these people who try underaged an e-cigarette product, do you know how many people underaged will try tobacco, cigarette, or anything, and will stay with tobacco? Over 40%. There is the problem. I mean, it's not dangerous in any kind of way. Here there are 5% that the study said the 5%, the 95% less harmless, and the 5% we don't know. We don't have enough knowledge right now and enough time in the sense that the e-cigarette products are fairly new to know what is really harmful in the 5% that are still unknown. I mean, do you know how toxic it is when you're taking your car and drive into a garage and go out of your car and take a breath? I mean, this is what people are doing every day. So yeah, I don't get it how they can just say it's dangerous, it's for children. Yeah, the argument I saw Matt's Suck My Mud latest vlog, and they talked about, and they were basically angry as I am, that every government says, so basically this is an ice cream flavor so it's for children. Where the fuck do you live? I mean, over 18 years old, basically you don't eat ice cream. Over 18 years old, you don't eat cereals. Over 18 years old, you don't eat anything with sugar. So basically, we're only eating salad. So we need a salad flavor. I mean, where do they live? I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think it's a whole lot of crap and bullshit. But this is what is coming. I mean, in France, basically the same principle as in the US, who are trying with some help to get the government to back off of these way too restrictive rules. I mean, the problem is there's some sellers that did some pretty bad things. Let me explain it. Not every reseller did this, and by far not. There need to be some regulations for e-liquids, not so much for e-cigarettes. At least I don't see the point, because they're already pretty much pretty much safe. Okay, of course, if I'm building just wicked low, there's no protection in my box mod, and then it explodes. I mean, take it as it is. There will always be some dumb people that don't have a clue what they're doing, and they will get hurt. I mean, this is basically, you can get hurt with the TV, okay? I mean, when you're under the TV and moving your the desk or whatever your TV is on, and the TV is falling on you. I mean, yeah, you get hurt by TV, but why? Because you were dumb enough to do something like this. So an e-cigarette, yeah, there's electricity inside because there are batteries inside, and basically, if you don't know what you're doing with electricity, yeah, you can get hurt. But it's the same with every fucking product you can buy today. So don't tell me it's dangerous. On the liquid side, yeah, there need to be some restrictions, I think. The main point is, I think in the US it's maybe a little bit less of a hype. In France, during this year, there was the huge hype of Indonesian or Malaysian e-liquids. And there were a lot of vendors that got them in very, very early. And this is a problem. Why? I'm not saying I'm not a racist or anything. I'm not saying that the Philippines or the Malaysian people don't know how to make liquid and are just dirty people. Not at all. But we do not know anything at all about how they are producing their e-liquids and where it's made. It just came out, okay? It made a huge hype. It's basically for me at least, way too much flavors in it. It just 30 or 40% flavors. I mean, it just way too much. At least on all the liquids I tried, and I tried a lot of these liquids. It's not a matter of taste, okay? They can have a taste that I like, but there's just way too much flavor. And there are no real regulations at this point in time in these countries. And there were way too lot of vendors that said, okay, it makes a hype, I can make some money, so let me get this and sell it. And no, this is basically, this attitude gives a negative view of vaping, because some vendors are just not intelligent enough and to say to themselves, okay, let's wait just a little bit and see if there are any regulations. I mean, the regulations that were already in place and weren't there at the beginning, like if I'm buying a US product, okay, we don't have the same regulations, even though, like, already it depends on the state in America where the e-liquid is made. I know that California puts some stupid shit that nicotine could induce some cancer and stuff like that. It's great. Doesn't freak me out at all. But basically, when a US juice is sold in France, we need the stickers and all the informations about the e-liquid in French. This is how it is, but I mean, it's done. When you're contacting big US e-liquid creators, they do it. They do it, and it's great. I mean, otherwise we would be all with, basically a national reserve of e-liquids that we could buy, and this is just sad, because I like to try things from other countries, because the tastes are different. And I'm not saying that French e-liquids are shit and USA liquids are great. No, nothing to do with that. But it's, as a matter of fact, it's just good that now we're getting to a point where we can find a common ground and sell our e-liquids a little bit all over the world. But there are countries that are not doing this. And even if the e-liquid makes a huge hype, we should not be selling it under... Yeah, I mean, we should not be selling it. Because basically this is what the government waits for, to hit on us vapers and say, yeah, you see, you're basically taking some products that have no regulation at all and you're vaping them, and it could be dangerous because they're made in labs, we don't know how they're made, if it's a little bit clean, if there are any regulations, we don't know where the flavors are from, we don't know where the nicotine is from, and we don't know where the PG or VG is from. So this, I get it. I mean, it's annoying, but I can get it. But we were at a point where this was kind of worked out between the big countries and big producers of e-liquid. So yeah, this is one of the things that some vendors were happy about, to get some hype products without thinking about the consequences. Okay, and also the global vaping industry took a little bit too big of a step with e-liquids, and also some gear that we went a little bit fast. I mean, I like evolution, but as you see now with all the Chinese products, and it's not only the Chinese, okay, but there's every month or two a new update to an atomizer, or a new update to a new box and stuff, and blah blah blah. And this also, the government basically says that why do they want to make tests about 6 months on a product before it can be sold? It's to block all this evolution. They want to block it completely, which is not good at all, because we need evolution. The market can still go forward, and way forward basically, but there was so much of a fast evolution, which gave us the possibility to have a much better vape than 3 years ago, or even more years ago. But it is a little bit too fast for the moment for some huge companies that are just floating the industry with new and updated products. So this is also, yeah, we need to slow it down a little bit and show our good faith also, that we're consumers of vaping products that are secure, well made, with some good e-liquids, and that we are safe, and that we can decide that what we want to consume. Okay, I mean, smokers, yeah, okay, you fall into the tobacco and nicotine addiction, okay, but you decide. It's a decision. I mean, it's not because you're dependent on something that it's not your decision. You're deciding, okay, in a certain kind of way. So yeah, basically this is it, guys, for this the international segment, I will call it, I guess. So we're all having a little bit of the same problems. So let's get together and please comment this video. I don't care where you're from, and just share your thoughts and your problems with the new vaping regulation in your country. You can come from Germany or whatever, Germany, USA, Ireland, or wherever you're from. I guess you're having the same issues, or at least some issues that are similar. I know there are things in the US that are even more hardcore, that will even more kill the vaping industry than our regulations, but basically we're all in the same kind of mess, and we need to fight together, that we show that today we're in a global world. Let's not think about just our country. I mean, if you're importing products from other countries, I mean, most of the atomizers come from China for the big market that are under 100 euros and stuff. So we need to fight together against all these stupid regulations, so that we can continue to vape and take great pleasure in sharing our knowledge with others, sharing our juices and our discoveries. So sharing our juices, this sounds kind of naughty. So it's sharing our e-juices together, and yeah, and just go on and vape on together. So, this social segment. This social segment is basically a segment where I will talk about some questions that I get asked not only on the internet, but by friends, by colleagues, and by not customers, but I'm helping out sometimes at a vape shop. And yeah, basically it's a question that I already saw quite a bit on some internet forums. Yeah, like stuff like Reddit and stuff like that. It's the question is, I want to step up my game in vaping, get better products. Is it worth it? A little bit. It's a little bit wider than that, but this is the basic sense of the question. So there are many people out there that are very proud of their box, of their custom atomizer and stuff, and that's cool. That's cool with me. That's totally cool. But let's not forget, vaping is about stopping smoking cigarettes, not blowing smoke anymore, and just get to vaping, less harmful, and all this good stuff. So basically, the first thing you need to get your head around is if your actual e-cigarette keeps you away from tobacco, it's a good e-cigarette, okay? So this is the most important thing to keep in mind. So now you become an addict to vaping. You love trying new flavors, you love trying new atomizers, new mods, and all this good stuff. Cool, welcome to the club. But there's a difference. There is, for me, basically what you need to know is that the atomizer is one of the biggest part in what quality vape you will get or not. A cheap ass atomizer that is poorly built and makes some weird contact things when it goes with your battery and doesn't fire at all times, you will get basically a bad vape. So get yourself at first a better atomizer. There are a whole bunch of atomizers out there. Very good priced atomizers. You have the products from Kanger, like the Subtank if you like some sub-ohm stuff. You have the TFV4 from SmogTech. You have a bunch. You have the UD, the Zephyrus, and all this good stuff where you can buy your resistance. You don't even have to rebuild your own coils. And then you have drippers, and yeah, I'm not going all over the place with the different things you can buy, but you need to remember, you can have a great vape with a budget of $80 to $100 or euros. Basically the same thing, because here the products are a little bit pricier than in the US. So you can get a great vape with something like this, which is an EVIC VTC Mini. This has been a huge hit since it came out. And I get why, because I bought one. And it's a nice little mod. And this will get you a great vape. And beyond this price range, for me at least for a box mod. Okay, for the mod, not for the atomizer. For the mod, it's not getting better necessarily in the terms of vaping. And even if it gets better, it's not like a day and night difference, okay? We're on an electronic device that has a fairly good conductivity, but you don't care as much about conductivity as on a Mac mod, okay? Why is that? Because for those who are completely new, because you're basically telling your mod how much it will fire. So I don't know if you can see this, but I'm telling the mod how much I want it to fire in terms of watts, okay? In terms of power, basically, okay? So my conductivity, it doesn't have to be like hell to work fairly well. So this is as good as it will go on a basic usage, even for a little bit of cloud chasing. I mean, you can chuck the clouds with this guy. You can build as low as 0.015 ohms, so low enough for most people, for the majority of people, I guess. And then you have more luxurious products. What is above this $100 mark? Above this, there will be products that are made in the US or in Europe, not in China. This one, made in China. Is it bad? No. Is it the best thing? No. It's well constructed. Okay, it's metal. I don't know what metal it is, but it's fairly well constructed. The paint job is, okay. I mean, you can see already if it does a little bit of focus that it scratches on the points where you put it on the table. Okay, I mean, not a huge deal. There's some wiggly parts like the magnets that will tend to stick together, and usually they're supposed to be glued inside, but the glue doesn't hold up as well. But hey, you can put a little bit of glue in there, put the magnet back on, good as new, and you go again. Okay, and even it works perfectly. It sits flush, as you see. So yeah, it's not a huge deal. And then comes above this $100 mark, you get into more high-end products. A high-end product, what is it? It's better materials, better engineering, better electronical parts if you're on a regulated device. On Mac mods, it will be also the fact better materials, better conductivity, and the rarity. It's not a surprise that basically there are Mac mods for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and there are also electronic or regulated devices that are hundred of dollars. I mean, if a Mac mod is produced up to 5 different versions, and every version is a limited run of, let's say, 20, okay, the price will go up. And if this Mac mod was built by a reputed builder in the US, it will even go higher up. I mean, the economic principle in the vaping industry is the same as in every other industry. Who made it? So which brand? Where was it made? Which material was it made of? Same thing for clothing. I mean, you're paying more for clothes that are branded with a big brand than with a small brand that is not known and it is located in China and not in the US. It's same thing. But there's another thing with higher end devices. There's the thing that you're getting the prestige of a higher end device, but also the warranty of quality and also the warranty in time. This device is guaranteed to work for 3 months. And this is where it gets a little bit, not complicated, but a little bit of, it's not so good. If you're taking your head around this and you say, okay, this is guaranteed 3 months. If, and only if, it's not always the case, and in the majority of times it won't be the case. But if after the 4th month, your device stops working. Okay, fire button, dead. You haven't done anything. You didn't drop it, didn't take any e-juice inside, just stopped working. Basically, what you need to do is buy a new one, because the reseller or even the brand that in this case I see it is Joytech. I had a little doubt. You're selling it back to Joytech, and they will charge you. This is how it works. On the other side, you have devices like the Hex Ohm. Yeah, I know I have a Hex Angel, and it was the same idea that Chicks That Wick edition, so it's a girl mod, but I love my Hex Angels mod. So, any jokes aside, this guy, lifetime warranty. Why? It's $180. It's very, very well engineered. Inside it's so clean. No, focus on the mod, not on my face. Come on! I will do another review, even though there's a whole bunch of reviews on the Hex Ohm V2.1 mod, but this is, you just feel the higher quality. And I mean, if you're paying more, you want to feel more, if this does make any sense for you. So this is the real difference. The materials, this is a tank, the warranty you're getting with it, and of course, prestige, the brand, the look, and everything. So this is where you will step up your game. I mean, I can vape on this eVic, and I can vape on the Hex Ohm, and having a real good and nice vape. There are people that are telling you, yeah, but the signal is not the same, so the signal will more vary on a cheaper end product than on a higher end product, and all this stuff. I mean, okay, it's true. If you're taking the an analysis of the electronic that producing waves, basically, you know, the waveforms when you're when you're analyzing the electronic signal and stuff, and that the waveform is better on this device than on that device, but really I don't care, and I don't really feel it unless you're giving me a real cheap ass mod that is a clone of a clone of a clone, and that has poor ass electronics inside, and then you're giving me a high-end mod. Yeah, I will feel the difference, because basically the really cheap, and I mean a $10 mod, will be crap, piece of crap, whereas a $150 mod should be, I say should be, because there are some vendors that and some brands that are just producing a piece of shit and selling it at a very high price. Same thing in every industry. But yeah, I can get a good vape from both of them, and I can get a good vape from a $30 or $40 Mac mod, which is a hybrid mod. It's a clone of the simple mod made by Wotofo. Come on. There you go. And I can get a great vape from this and not be like, cheap ass mod, so throw it away. No, it's still good. I mean, all these devices, you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to have a good and more high-end feeling vape. You will feel the real difference from coming from a classic Ego cigarette, like, let me get one Ego cigarette. Gosh. Microphone. So, this is an Ego cigarette with this was a little adapter that I still had. This is an Ego cigarette. This is what most basic e-cigarette equipment you can buy. Okay, this is an Ego T. I think Ego T upgrade. This was one of my first e-cigarettes, and I think it's a 1,100 mAh, something like that. I don't really care. It doesn't work anymore. So this is the most basic equipment, and this will allow you to vape from 3.7 to 4.1 or 2 volts. And this is sold with a cheap ass atomizer, which is the Kangar T2 or the CE4 atomizers that are still out there and still selling, and it's good. I mean, if you don't want to spend, I see so many clients in my friend's vape shop that are coming in, and yeah, I want to start vaping and stuff. I want to stop the cigarette, but I have a budget of $40. I mean, for $40, at least you go on FastTag and buy a cheap ass clone from China and wait for it and don't know how to use it and all this stuff. You're forced to get a little kit with a Ego cigarette and a little tank. And often the people aren't satisfied. Why? Because you need to put some money into vaping. I mean, what is $40 if you're living in a state or in a country where you're paying basically $10 a pack and you're smoking one pack? I mean, a day. It's 4 days of cigarettes. Okay, so don't tell me that this is expensive, really. So I know we don't all have the same amount of money coming in every month. I respect that, but just put it into relationship with cigarettes. Okay, I mean, if you're only smoking like 4 cigarettes a day, go for this, really go for this. I mean, it will be enough. If you're smoking a pack for a day, you will get back to the cigarettes in a week at longest. So These e-cigarettes, what's the problem with this? The e-cigarettes will be like, yeah, they will work month, 2 months, 3 months, and basically they will stop working, or they will decrease the performance and all this crap. And this is where you will feel a real difference. You're coming from an ego and you're stepping up your game for one of the mods that are really popular: Evic VTC, Evic VT, Kangaroo Subbox, Clowper, and all these boxes that are basically about the $60 to $100 range. And there you will feel a difference. You will get a new tank to just get some advantages with the wattage and go a little bit higher and blow more clouds and have a better feeling in your throat and in your lungs. And this is where you get the real difference. So this and this, day and night difference. I guarantee you, you can try it out at a local vape shop, day and night difference. This and this, in terms of the vapor that is produced by respecting the same voltage and wattage on both devices, not so much. It's not a 100% better vape, okay? So this is where, again, the quality of the components, the feeling, the prestige, and everything comes in to satisfy you. And I mean, there's nothing wrong to buy something that simply pleases you. I mean, I have people around me that are buying Magmods for 500 and 600 euros, and that's cool. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because it's not my style of vaping, but hey, fuck it. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. This is what they like. This is what they're passionate about. So keep it on, okay? So what I wouldn't recommend is to buy too much cheap end stuff, because you will basically be buying more and you will spend more money than buying something like this. I mean, this is the price of 2 egos with a kit, with a little tank, a little bit better tank, maybe an Aspire tank or something, in a vape shop. Not online. I'm not talking online, because you can find things that are cheap as hell and get away with them, but I wouldn't recommend it again. But yeah, this is the price. This here is 2 egos with a tank. Okay, so I mean, if this one doesn't suit you and you're saying, yeah, I'm not getting enough sensation, I want to smoke again, and it already broke down once, it was under warranty, I had to send it back, and blah 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 blah, get away from it and buy you a little mod. I mean, you can buy a used one. You can buy a used one if you don't have the money for a new one. I get it, but buy a used one. You have a lot of used stuff on the internet, okay? There are a lot of Facebook groups that where you can buy stuff and exchange stuff, and yeah. So basically, you don't need to have a whole lot of money in your pocket to get a good and pleasant vape, and vape like everyone around you. Even if they're vaping on a $1,000 mod, you can have a real good vape, so that you don't have to step up your game. Stepping up your game in vaping is really the difference between these little cigarettes and a little nice box mod. And you don't even have to have this one, which goes now up to 75 watts, which is really nonsense for me. Not the wattage in itself, but it's a single 18650. Let's get around it. It doesn't work so well, but the basic version with the firmware version, I think it was 1.5 or something like this. I mean, who cares? It was a 60 watt device. Every manufacturer now tries to get this out at 75 watts, these single 18650 box mods, but it doesn't have to. I mean, you have the iSticks, you have the iSticks 10 watt, 20 watt, 40 watt, 50 watt, 100 watts. You have all this good stuff which comes in way cheaper, and you can have a great vape. Don't believe the people that say, yeah, you need a 200 watt device with a DNA 200 and customize everything to have a good vape, man. No, that's simply not true. I mean, on YouTube you see a lot of people reviewing stuff. And if you're fairly successful on YouTube and you're having some contacts with some manufacturers, they will send you sometimes stuff just to have an honest opinion on it. And that doesn't mean that the YouTubers, they own this stuff, okay? I mean, if you're getting sent a $400 device, they don't necessarily, it might happen, but they don't necessarily tell you, here, it's for you, my pleasure. No, it's just for a review. So don't think that everything you see on YouTube, gosh, the guy has the latest, the most expensive mod and I want it too because he has a great vape. No, 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 stop it, stop it. Go for something like this and you will have a great vape that will last you long and that will please you long enough to get completely away from tobacco and then decide if you want to stay in vaping or stop completely. And yeah, basically that's it. I mean, I'm very happy with the Hex Ohm, but I wanted a Hex Ohm so badly and there's no rational reason for me to buy a Hex Ohm because it's not a huge different vape than this. I can get more power out of the Hex Ohm. Okay, but I'm not pushing this thing basically to 100% every time. It's not my vape. So there you go. This was a question that was asked quite a lot. You don't need a whole lot of gear to have a great vape. So let's head on to the discovery of the week. So the discovery of the week is actually only one thing of the two I talked about in the French vlog. Now the discovery of the week, let me get it right here in the little vaping bag. Where is it? There it is. Sorry, there was a Facebook notification. So the discovery of the week for me was a juice. So it's not a review of a juice, it's just a discovery. It's from Kilo, so a very well-known juice company in the US. Now they're pretty much everywhere in France also, they're very popular, and it was the Dewberry Cream. I tasted all the juices from Kilo and they're all pretty well made. I'm loving the cereal milk, but I was kind of, amazed by the Dewberry. So let's have a little vape on it and I will describe it to you without reading the description or anything. This is not a cloud chasing machine or anything, and I think my batteries are going pretty weak on this Mac mod. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So the Kilo Dewberry Cream is, for me at least, a sweet and juicy melon with some cream and kind of a biscuit flavor, just a little bit, a small on the exhale, which gives a great taste actually. It's a very good juice. It tastes very, very good, and this is, by the way, in the Omerta RDA. I don't think you can see it. There it is. So it's a kind of a flavor RDA. It's not much of a cloud chaser, but tastes very good. I checked it out in RDAs and tanks. It's a very, very good juice. So if you like melon flavors, definitely check it out. And yeah, this was my juice discovery of the week. And sorry, I gotta sneeze. I'm dying. No. Okay. No, it's okay. So the second discovery of the week was actually the Hannya RDA, which I have somewhere. I'm gonna pause this video and check out where it is. Found it, all good. So the Hannya RDA is a pretty cool discovery. I know it's not the most recent RDA or anything, but the shop that gave it to me just received it. So this is the silver version. I actually like the design. So there's some flaws, but I will talk about them in the video. What I really don't like, except for one version, which is the green zombie version with the red splatter, and it looks really cool on the Tuck Life, and the Hex Ohm zombie version, because it kind of feels like the devil is kind of puking blood all over your mod. So this is cool, but the others, I don't really like this little devil head. Let me show it to you. There you go. So but it vapes very good. Let's have a little vape on it. So it's same juice, it's the Kilo juice. And the Clapton needs to heat up a little bit. This is a pre-made Clapton just to check it out how these coils are. Yeah, it's definitely a good RDA. So I'm rocking it right now with only 3 holes open just to have a little bit more tasty vape. So the cool thing about this Hannya RDA, if you haven't heard about it, it's a postless RDA. Check this out. There are no posts. The post holes are basically in your deck, which makes it really, really easy. And you'll see in the review that I will do next week. Just the week where, yeah, Christmas week. Yay! This is the perfect RDA for a beginner builder because it's very simple. You can manage to get quite a lot of different wires in here. And yeah, it's a great vape. You can choose between flavor or more cloud chasing because you have, let me count it, 7 holes on each side. So you can do some huge clouds with the right build. Yeah, now it's a pretty weak because I think I need to change my batteries on my Hexagon also. So yeah, basically these were the discoveries of the week. 2 discoveries, cool. So let's move on to the next section, which will be the retro vape section, and not really, because I do not have the right thing for So retrovaping, you can check out the French vlog. I will put a link somewhere in here. Even if you're not talking French, you can see how this worked. If you don't know it, if you're a new vaper. So it was this tank, which is a tank for a cardomizer, because you can see right through it. And I checked out a cardomizer. So just for the history, I vaped on cardomizers like about 2.5 years ago, and it was pretty much the best thing you can have besides a Genesis atomizer. It was much better than everything with the with your coils at the top, like the Kangaroo T2 and all this stuff. And I thought at the time that it was actually a really good flavor. And the first problem I had, just to translate a little bit what happened in the French vlog, was first things first, I hadn't had a juice which was less than 70 or 60 VG. So for a cardomizer, I'm popping up a photo right now of a cardomizer. So basically it's just a tube with a cotton inside and some coils. Basically one coil actually. Well, most of them. There were some special cardomizers. There were 2 big brands. There were the Bosch cardomizers and the Smog cardomizers. So the cardomizer I checked out was at 1.6 ohms, and I found some rest of a juice, which was a 40 VG juice from Hallison Hayes, which is a great brand. They have some great juices. But it took like 45 minutes for the cotton to really absorb it. So basically you put your cardomizer in the tube and you're filling up your tank and putting a little bit of juice in the top, and then you just suck it inside the cardomizer, wait for it really to be well and to well absorb the juice. And yeah, then I vaped it. I started off at 3.3 volts. So you can't push these things, and you basically you're getting just a cute little cloud. It's just so small. It's just even less than cigarette smoke. So that's pretty weird. And I pushed it at 3.7 volts, just basically to be an ego range, because the first problem I had, it was Michael, who was with me in the French vlog. Who lent me over his EVIC VT, because I don't have anything where I could vape a cardomizer correctly without having trouble just breaking the whole thing down at the first vape. So I pushed it at 3.7 volts and wanted to see if you push it a little bit and just take a good toot off of it, if it holds, I could get 3 vapes off of it and the resistance was fried. So pretty funny, and the taste was So if you compare this to what you can get today with just some cheaper tanks, you know, the Eagle 1 tank, even Nautilus tanks, the Aero tank from Kanger, and not to talk about like sub-ohm tanks, really, the flavor on these is just it's just not any good today. So you see pretty much how the whole vaping gear is evolving very quickly, and now we have some tasteful, delicious atomizers for very accessible prices. So this is cool. If you compare this guy to this, not the Hexon, but the Hannya. The Hannya is only $30, so I mean there's a wall of difference. I mean this costs or costed. I don't know if you can get these anymore. It's an F16 tank, and usually it was sold with one cartomizer in it. And I think I was paying like about €9, which would result in $8, I think, approximately. So yeah, Retrovaping, not a real section this time. Next time next week there will be something funny. We will go back on a Vivi Nova. So this will be pretty funny too. I need to find some juice that could go inside the Vivi Nova. Not easy to find, but anything. Why am I saying anything? But anyway, let's move on to the end of this vlog. Actually, Retrovaping, last section. That's it. So thank you for following this vlog. So you have the timestamps. I hope this helps out a little bit, just to not watch the whole video if you so choose. And yeah, next week there will be a box review every Monday, a atomizer review every Wednesday, and the vlog every Friday. So see you guys soon. Vape on!